In Thor, the Dark World, the god of thunder, Thor, returns to Asgard after restoring peace to the Nine Realms following the events of the Avengers. However, his heart is still longing for Jane Foster, a scientist on Earth who has stumbled upon the ether, a powerful and ancient cosmic force. Countless ages in the past, Bor, Odin's father, engages in a fierce battle with the Dark Elf Malekith, who aims to unleash a devastating weapon called the Ether to annihilate the universe. Following their victory over Malekith's troops, which includes formidable beings called the Kurse on Svartalfheim, Bor secures the Ether inside a stone monument. Little does he know, Malekith, his trusted lieutenant Algrim, and a small group of Dark Elves manage to elude capture by entering a state of suspended animation. In the current time in Asgard, Loki remains imprisoned for his crimes during the Earth's war. Meanwhile, Thor, accompanied by his fellow warriors Fandral, Volstagg, and Sif, defends Vanaheim from raiders. Vanaheim is the homeland of their friend Hogun, and this battle marks the final conflict in their effort to bring peace to the Nine Realms after the reconstruction of Bifrost, the interrealm rainbow bridge, which had been destroyed 2 years earlier. In Asgard, they marked their triumph in restoring peace to the Nine Realms with a celebration. The celebratory gathering that follows reveals a transformation in Thor's demeanor. Once known for his all-night revelries, Thor now sits in a melancholic state, and seemingly oblivious to Sif's presence. In London, astrophysicist Dr. Jane Foster is accompanied by her intern Darcy Lewis, who now has her own intern named Ian. They investigate an abandoned factory where objects have started defying the laws of physics and vanishing inexplicably. While separated from the group, Jane is unexpectedly transported to another realm, where she comes into contact with the Ether. The Asgardians become aware of the impending convergence, a rare alignment of the Nine Realms that causes portals between worlds to appear unpredictably. Heimdall informs Thor about Jane's recent disappearance, prompting Thor to launch a search for her. After being missing for 5 hours, Jane is back to Earth and reunites with Thor. When Jane inadvertently unleashes an otherworldly power while being arrested by the police for trespassing, Thor brings her to Asgard. Unfortunately, the Asgardian healers admit their inability to treat her condition. Odin recognizes the Ether and warns that Jane's infection will eventually prove fatal, indicating that the Ether's reappearance is connected to a dire prophecy. Awakened by the Ether's liberation, Malekith transforms Algrim into a formidable coursed warrior, turns himself in as a prisoner of Asgard, and launches an assault after freeing other prisoners. In the midst of the chaos, Malekith and Algrim search for Jane, recognizing that she harbors the Ether. Their efforts to capture her prove fruitless, but they manage to evade capture, not before Malekith engages in a deadly sword fight with Thor's mother, Frigga, resulting in her tragic demise. After mourning for the death of their queen, Asgard remains defenseless as the palace shields were damaged from the recent attack. Back on Earth, Darcy becomes increasingly anxious as she struggles to reach Jane and Dr. Selvig. Her worry intensifies when she discovers that Dr. Selvig has made headlines and has been apprehended by authorities. Despite Odin's explicit orders to remain within Asgard, Thor reluctantly forms an alliance with Loki, who possesses knowledge of a concealed portal to Malekith's realm. Their plan is to use Jane as bait to draw Malekith away from Asgard and confront him. As a quid pro quo, Thor assures Loki that he will grant him the opportunity for vengeance against Malekith for the murder of their mother. While Volstagg and Sif keep the Asgardian soldiers occupied, and with Fandral aiding their getaway, Thor and Loki seize control of a Dark Elf spacecraft and make their way to Svartalfheim with Jane. In Svartalfheim, Loki cunningly deceives Malekith into betraying Thor and offering Jane to them as a gift. After extracting the Ether from Jane, Yet, Thor's endeavor to eliminate the substance proves unsuccessful, and the ether-empowered Malekith departs with his vessel. In the process, Loki seems to sustain fatal wounds while helping Thor against Algrim. As Thor holds Loki in his arms, he pledges to inform their father of Loki's self-sacrifice. After what appears to be Loki's demise, Thor and Jane stumble upon another portal in a nearby cave. This portal leads them back to London, where they are reunited with Jane's mentor, Dr. Eric Selvig, along with Darcy and Ian. In London, they discover Malekith's scheme to release the ether and annihilate the universe, with his target being Greenwich, the epicenter of the convergence. Thor engages in a fierce battle with Malekith, but a portal abruptly divides them, granting Malekith an advantage. Thor ultimately returns just in time to assist his mortal allies in utilizing their scientific apparatus to transport Malekith to Svartalfheim. There, Malekith meets his demise before he can carry out his plan to obliterate the universe. Thor goes back to Asgard, where he refuses Odin's proposal to assume the throne and shares the news of Loki's self-sacrifice. As he departs, Odin's appearance changes, revealing a smirking Loki. In a mid-credits scene, Volstagg and Sif pay a visit to the Collector and place the Ether under his guardianship. They express concern about the potential dangers of having two Infinity Stones in such proximity, especially with the Tesseract already in Asgard. As they depart, the Collector cryptically comments, "One down, 5 to go," hinting at events to come in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. In a scene after the credits, Jane and Thor are reunited on Earth. Meanwhile, in a different part of London, a frost monster from Jotunheim, unintentionally brought to Earth during the climactic battle, remains on a rampage. And the movie ends here. Thank you for watching, and I highly recommend watching the entire movie as it is incredibly enjoyable. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel, so you can stay updated and receive notifications whenever we upload new videos.